There is something interesting happening in the motorcycle world right now. For years, people believed that bigger motorcycles automatically meant better touring motorcycles. More power, more electronics, bigger engines, bigger size, and for a long time, that was true. But after spending thousands of kilometers riding across the Balkans, I started questioning that idea more and more. Because somewhere between the mountain passes, canyon roads, coastal highways, changing temperatures, rain, wind, and endless serpentines, middleweight motorcycles started to make a lot of sense. So in this video, I don't want to give you another technical review of Yamaha Tracer 7 GT and Tracer 9 GT. I already made those videos before. This video is more about experience, about distance, about fatigue, and about understanding which motorcycle actually fits the way you want to travel. For those who don't know me, my name is Sergey, and for the last few years I've been running motorcycle touring company here in the Balkans, and because of that we spend thousands of kilometers every season riding mountain roads, coastal highways, old Yugoslav backroads, canyon roads, and high altitude passes across Montenegro, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Albania and Croatia. And over time it gave me a very interesting perspective on motorcycles. Because here motorcycles behave differently. A bike that feels perfect on smooth highways in Western Europe can suddenly become tiring and heavy once you spend the entire day riding narrow mountain serpentines and technical B roads. And this is exactly where motorcycles like Yamaha Tracer lineup start making a lot of sense, especially now, because over the last few years the middleweight sport touring category has evolved massively, and honestly Yamaha is one of the manufacturers leading the segment. The interesting part is that in 2025 Yamaha updated both motorcycles. The Tracer 9 became more refined, more comfortable, more technologically advanced, and more touring focused than before, but at the same time Tracer 7 grew up as well, and that's where things became complicated, because previously the gap between them felt obvious, now not really. Even though both motorcycles belong to the same category, they represent two very different philosophies. Tracer 7 GT is built around Yamaha CP2 platform, a platform that became famous because of motorcycles like MT-07 and Tenere 700, and there is a reason why people love this engine. It is simple, friendly, direct, honest, and when you ride the Tracer 7 through mountain roads, the motorcycle almost disappears underneath you. It feels light, effortless, natural. You don't really think about managing the motorcycle. It simply becomes part of you. Especially on technical roads and low-speed serpentines, it feels incredibly easy to ride. And after long days on the road, that matters more than people think. Then you jump onto Tracer 9 GT, and immediately the whole atmosphere changes. The bike feels more planted, more serious, more premium. CP3 engine completely changes the character of the motorcycle, and when the roads open up, the Tracer 9 suddenly transforms into something that almost feels like a bullet train. Smooth, fast, stable, you feel the extra power immediately, but more importantly, you feel the weight, the size and the confidence of the platform itself. And honestly, both experiences are amazing. What makes this comparison so interesting now is that Yamaha made the two motorcycles much closer to each other than before. The old Tracer 7 felt very analog, very simple, and now not anymore. Ride modes, electronic throttle, cruise control, updated ergonomics, better comfort, updated suspension, and surprisingly the motorcycle itself became physically larger and more comfortable for tall riders. Even details like handlebar controls and luggage systems now feel closely related to Tracer 9 lineup. And honestly, this changed my perception of the bike quite a bit, because for someone like me around 188, the Tracer 7 GT actually became more comfortable than I expected, in some ways even more comfortable than Tracer 9 GT, especially the sitting position, the knee angle, the lighter feeling of the motorcycle, even wind protection surprised me. And this is where the whole comparison became very interesting, because suddenly the smaller bike no longer feels small. The Balkans are a very interesting place to test motorcycles, because this region constantly changes. One moment you're riding smooth coastal highways next to Adriatic Sea, a few hours later you climb in cold mountain passes surrounded by fog, rough asphalt and endless corners. And that's where motorcycle behavior changes dramatically. The electronic suspension works beautifully, the bike feels planted and stable, and CP3 engine always gives you that extra layer of excitement whenever you want it. But when you spend the entire day riding technical mountain roads, something interesting starts happening. The riders on Tracer 7 often finish the day less tired, not because the bike is more powerful, not because it has more technology, but because it asks less from you physically. It is lighter, easier to move around, easier to manage, and after a day of mountain riding, the difference becomes very real, especially for riders who simply want to enjoy the journey rather than fight the motorcycle. Tracer 7 GT is probably one of the most universal touring motorcycles Yamaha has ever built. Young riders, older riders, men, women, experienced riders, people returning to motorcycles after years away, almost everyone immediately feels comfortable on it. And for riders coming from big adventure motorcycles, the Tracer 7 GT makes even more sense now, because you still get comfort, touring capability, luggage, electronics and long distance ability, but without carrying around a huge motorcycle all the time. It gives you freedom without intimidation. Then there is Tracer 9 GT, and this bike speaks to a slightly different rider. Someone who still wants excitement, someone who enjoys power, someone who wants the motorcycle to feel premium and emotionally engaging. And honestly, CP3 engine is still one of the best motorcycle engines on the market today. It gives the bike character and emotion, and whenever the road opens up, you understand immediately why people love this platform so much. So if you are coming from larger motorcycles and still want something serious, capable and exciting, but without going fully into heavyweight ADV world, Tracer 9 GT makes incredible sense. And here's my take on these two bikes after thousands of kilometers across the Balkans. Neither motorcycle is better. They simply deliver touring in different ways. One focuses more on simplicity, accessibility and ease, the other focused more on performance, sophistication and emotion. But both motorcycles manage to do exactly the same journey. The same roads, the same mountains, the same weather, the same borders, the same destinations. And maybe that's the point, because eventually motorcycle travel is not really about horsepower. It is about how you feel after the day is over. Anyway guys, I hope this video gave you a better understanding of both motorcycles and maybe helped you to understand which one fits you better. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next one. Cheers!